They're the greatest rally roads in the championship, and every year Whangarei claims a victim or two. A moment's inattention claimed championship leader Richard Mason. While his rivals Chris West and Hayden Patton poured on the pace and stacked up the points. Teenager Kirsty Nelson landed in a swamp, but she's back for day 2. Along with Dave Strong, whose broken gearbox has been replaced. So let's reset the clock, start it again. Day 2, Rally Whangarei. 8 o'clock Sunday morning, and as you can see and hear, it's a hive of activity here at the service park, getting set for day 2, the second leg of the NAC Insurance Hella International Rally of Whangarei. I'm Clint Brown. Glad you could join us for what promises to be another fantastic showdown after all the drama and the excitement of Leg 1. The big news for Leg 2, no Richard Mason, the championship leader, out after the big roll in Leg 1 and a busted roll cage, and no Mark Tapper. Very sadly, he finished Leg 1 with a blown engine. So today there will be a new leader in the championship at the end of Leg 2. To check it all out, let's set the scene with Emma Gilmore and the Vantage stage preview.
Day 2 Rally Whangarei starts with the famous Brooks stage. This stage has been used many times as part of Rally New Zealand and is a real favourite amongst the drivers. Fast and technical, it also has a big uphill climb through the middle of it, so having good horsepower is a real advantage. And this may be where you'll see some people who have run the FIA fuel having a real advantage over those of us that are still running pump fuel. On to Millbrook, another really neat stage. This one's a bit shorter, and unlike the other stage, it's mainly downhill. So those of us that had a disadvantage in the other stage will have at least the same playing field on this stage. Following stage is Waipu Caves. Really challenging stage, this one, with lots of changes of rhythm. Really fast tarmac section through the middle where it's just like dead straight. Where you then head off that and into a really difficult piece of road that I seem to know quite well. And I know that the right-hander about a kilometre from the end is not flat in fifth. Spectators then get an opportunity to see us again back in the heart of Whangarei, going around the super special stage. This stage will definitely be getting cut up by this time, as it's our last repeat of it. Then we head back to service. After service, we head back out to the same group of stages. Since the stages have been repeated, they'll be very, very swept if the weather's dry, but if it's been wet, they could be cut up quite a lot, so tyre choice is going to be really important. This rally has traditionally gone down to the wire, and with the last stage of Waipu Caves being 22 kilometres long, it's going to be all on.
But before we get out onto the stages today, let's take a look behind the scenes here at Rally Control. Joining us now is Steve Foster, who's the clerk of the course for the International Rally of Whangarei. Steve, tell us exactly what's going on here.
Well, we have a very dedicated group of officials who have come together to run this event for Motorsport New Zealand. We have quite a number of out in the field also, and of course our headquarters is to ensure everybody's in place and timetables met and things like that.
And you have a fantastic army of, as you say, officials and volunteers, and this is the coordination centre for here. And what are you guys actually doing? Is it like radio control and linking everything from stage to stage? Because it's a huge operation.
It is a huge operation. It's a matter of having each of our safety officers who go through and check the stages and make sure the safety plan is put in place, are coordinated. Any issues that they have are sorted out before the racing starts, basically. So we've got a safe environment for our competitors. In this room over here is where we have our safety tracking and where our results are processed. We have all the times coming in from the starts and finishes of the stages, and we have radio operators in the field that report when cars go past their point, so we can actually maintain a log, if you like, and a watching brief on our competing vehicles through the stages.
So in a rally, as you can see, time is absolutely crucial, and it's time now to get out there and check out day 2 of the NAC Insurance Hella International Rally of Whangarei. Of course, one of the prime concerns in the sport is spectator safety. This is just one of the 0 cars which pass through the stage before it starts to warn people that the cars are coming. Chris West won day 1 of the rally as the overnight leader. He'll start first of the NZRC cars, but ironically still behind all the APRC cars. Not that he's complaining, as it produces ideal road conditions.
Well, I'm not sure about the road conditions. We saw Chris West capitalise on these conditions on day 1, but there's been heavy rainfall overnight in this area, so the grip levels will be right down. And of course, the last 3 kilometres of this stage is a repeat of the Whangarei stage from day 1.
There's also been a change in the start order. Hayden Paddon will start right behind Chris West on day 2. Mark Tabb was unable to take his start due to engine damage, so Hayden is virtually assured to win the Pirelli support package. That's €5,000 to help him get to that star driver final in Rally Malaysia. Fantastic.
Well, Clint, he needs to put that in the back of his mind today and concentrate on the championship. He could easily lead the championship today if things go his way. And remember that Hayden has a great team with him, not just co-driver John Kennard, but also his service crew and supporters.
Meanwhile, Chris West coming down to the end of the stage now. Let's check out his time compared to Cody Crocker in the APRC division. He did a 10 minutes 18.9. Westy, 10. He's quicker, 18.1. So what can Patton do here?
5 left, Titans 4 minus late.
Going very wide. He's really attacking it down towards the Hella Bridge.
But he would have lost a bit of time there, Clint.
He's still on the case.
50, flat 6 left to finish. 150.
Looks very composed and quick behind the wheel. 10.20, 1.9 seconds down on West. Still a good start, though. Now, this is one of the fascinating battles of the rally. Brett Martin versus Dean Sumner. On day 1, Martin edged ahead of his teammate to take third, but they battled right down to the final stage.
Well, I suspect it'll be the same today, and we get here to see a couple of subtle differences between the two. It's Dean Sumner on the left and Brett Martin on the right, and Brett Martin here is sliding the car around a lot more. And if we remember in day 1, it was Dean Sumner that had problems sliding the car around.
30 to a long 3 right, don't cut. Junction 60, 5-6 right, finish 200.
Martin looks quicker on the clocks. In the end, he is by 2 seconds over the stage. And with Richard Mason out, Callum McInnes and Emma Gilmore were left to lead the Subarus on the day. McInnes, 5th fastest on day 1. How he starts day 2, 10 minutes 33.5, 15 seconds down on the leader.
Now on board with Emma Gilmore in the second Subaru. She made a conservative start on day 1 before picking up the pace in the afternoon. Looks like she's going to do the same thing today.
20 jump. 40 and 3 right plus.
Yes, Emma, definitely a bit slower her time, 10 minutes 37.3. Sloan Cox, another to have a slow start on day 1, but he fought back in the afternoon. Unfortunately, though, this would be the only start on day 2 as he crashed off the road early in the stage. So at least that gets the rookie crash out of the way from the Taslow Evo. Now on board with Stuart Taylor. He has to try and catch the pack, but his engine woes have remained, so the car is still down on power. 6 fastest through the stage, just 0.2 behind McInnes and ahead of Gilmore. Brad Ayling had a shocking day 1, but a much more successful start here, 8th fastest. And 9th for Grant Barber, who had a replacement turbo on the Subaru. Andre Meyer in 10th, but already 45 seconds down on leader Chris West. So Westy carries on day 2 where he left off. He leads by 2 seconds over Hayden Paddon.
Look at Brad Ayling leading the rookies today and scoring 2 points in the Pirelli Challenge.
So just 17 starters now in the Vantage Aluminium Joinery Championship field. The next stage, Millbrook. Just a 10.5 kilometre sprint, and Chris West wasn't hanging around here. Needs to win day 2 to gain as many points as possible outright in the rally.
Well, he better take care because this stage is very fast and can be quite tricky as it features a twisty, fast downhill section. Talking to Chris before the starter today, he had a limited tyre choice, so tyres will be a major factor today, and Chris is cutting the apex a little bit fine. Remember, Richard Mason did that yesterday with disastrous results.
Left minus over the finish. Into 6 right plus.
So West does it in 6 minutes 20.2. 7 seconds slower than last year's record time. So perhaps road conditions not ideal this morning.
Chris, a lot of rain overnight. How are the road conditions?
Yeah, they've definitely changed somewhat from yesterday, and really struggled in there. There's a lot of gravel and mud, and in fact that was actually probably worse than the first one this morning. So yeah, I lost a bit of time in there, but hey, we'll see how Hayden's gone in there. He's got a narrower tyre, so he may have a little bit of advantage in there, I think.
What a fascinating battle here too with Hayden Paddon. I'm sure the young star is tired of being second all season. Second behind Mason. Now it's Chris West that he has to overtake.
Well, if he's going to make his move, it really has to be this stage. Remember, Westy said he's got a narrower tyre, so it could be an advantage. Only 7 stages today, one of them is super stage, so not a lot of opportunity to take over Westy. Put your foot down, Hayden.
Short for late. 30.
Wow, well, Shrek's certainly giving it the jandle.
7 left.
He's on a mission through here, Brownie, and I'd say he could be quicker than Westy. He's really trying hard.
80. K-right
Coming down to the line, what's his time going to be?
5 left line to finish. 100, long 7 right.
6 minutes, 19.9, just 0.3 seconds faster.
Hayden, you've just gone 0.3 of a second quicker than Westy through there.
Yeah, I think she's going to be a close old race today, so I think he took a second and a bit out of us in the first one. So the roads are quite nice, they're quite wet, but they've become quite grippy, and although they're cutting up a bit for us, it's the same for all us national guys, so far so good.
So what a day. Weston Paddon slugging it out in front. The other competitors could be in danger of being left behind. Brett Martin here also in a battle with Dean Sumner for third place.
Well, Brett Martin has driven very well this weekend. He's actually been considerably faster than Taguchi, the MRF team driver, on several stages, and has raised more than a few eyebrows.
Let's see what he can do here. Remember, Paddon's time, 6 minutes, 19.9. Taguchi, 6 minutes, 21.7. Martin, 6:24.5. That puts him 14 seconds down on Westy in the lead.
There was less grip in there than before.
Yeah, no.
Brett, they're all saying it's pretty slippery out there.
Yeah, the first stage was quite surprisingly. Got a bit more grip than I thought, and then when we come into here we thought it would be similar, but no, certainly not much grip in that one.
So changing levels of grip, what can Dean Sumner do? He's running on Dunlop tyres. Seemed to give him a bit of an edge on day one.
Well, that's very interesting. I counted 5 different tyre manufacturers in the service park. So this is really the battle of the tyre brands. These Northland roads can be quite abrasive, even in the wet, so watch out for how the tyres perform after a couple of stages.
Well, thankfully, the spectators have heeded the warnings of the 3 safety cars that preceded the rally cars, so no unnecessary distractions for Dean Sumner today. Check out his time. Remember, Martin, 6:24.5. Sumner, 6:25.8, so he'll remain in 4th. Callum McInnes just off the pace through this stage, 9.6 seconds slower than West. It could cost him dropping to 6th.
Short 7 right into a 5 left minus, tightens to 4, then opens.
This man, Stuart Taylor, despite driving a car down on power, he manages to stay in touch.
One good thing for Stuart on this stage is that there's a large amount of fast downhill, so his power loss may not be such a big deal.
5 right plus, tightens to 4, then opens.
His time, 6 minutes 27.2, enough to move him into 5th. Emma Gilmore's battle continued with Callum McInnes. These two had matched each other's pace for most of day one, and it was the same on day 2.
Well, Emma's driving with plenty of commitment. She's looking quite good through here. With new co-driver Jeff Judd, they look like they could be a team really getting it together. Now coming down to the finish line.
100, 5 left plus 100.
Little bit of a hesitation over the line. 6:30.1, just half a second behind McInnes, stays in 7th.
Brad Ailing had a difficult day 1, but look at this on day 2. Things are looking up.
He's closing in on Sloane Cox and Mark Tappan to Pirelli points. Both these drivers are retired.
Grant Barber was another driver to strike technical problems on day 1, but on stage 10 he was up to 9th place.
But another tight battle for 10th place between Andre Meyer and the battered Subaru of Kirsty Nelson.
Meyer 10th overall by just 0.3 of a second. In the battle for Kiwi 2 honours, it was first blood for the young Aussie Brendan Reeves. Fastest on stage 9, 11 minutes 12 seconds, just 7 seconds slower than Kirsty Nelson. But this was always going to be a day that would suit the Hondas. And after his disappointing departure on day 1, Dave Strong was in a mood for revs and speed.
To a 3-right junction.
He was second to Reeves on stage 9, but on stage 10 he had a real go.
Certainly had a real go, Clint. Dave Strong's been over these roads quite a few times and absolutely loves them. And I'll tell you what, it really suits his car.
6 left plus, 6 right plus, deceptive 4 left. To a deceptive 4 right, 5 right.
Down to the finish, remember, the Hondas are not homologated. Dave was starting behind the championship field. Brendan Reeves, he's done a 6 minutes 56.2.
Finish 100.
Strong crosses the line, 6:51.2. He takes the class lead.
Dave, quicker so far. You're 5 seconds quicker than the Australian Brendan Reeves.
Oh, well, that's good. We should be faster than those guys. Obviously, he's driving very well, but these cars are a bit faster, so we just got to drive them better, eh?
Patrick Malley was given an assessed time on stage 9 after correctly slowing for a yellow flag at the Sloane Cox crash site. He was third in the class.
Sideways over the bridge, Clint.
Yeah, but down at his normal sort of pace. Aaron Cook, 6 seconds slower than class leader Strong. He's back in 4th place in the class. Ben Jagged just 8 seconds slower than Strong on stage 9, but he dropped 13 seconds on the shorter stage 10. Sean Gray forced out of the rally with gearbox problems on stage 10 as well. Ongoing power steering issues were making life hard for Reg Cook in the Nissan Micra. He was now the final car in the championship field. So Chris West just 1.6 seconds ahead of Hayden Patton after special stage 10.
Stuart Taylor making a bit of a comeback in 5th, pushes the Subarus back to 6 and 7.
Dave Strong hits the Kiwi 2 field in 12th, but he's virtually tied to the Aussie Reeves. Stick around after the break. It's the awesome Waipu Cave stage and a final fling over Poe Island. Just 2 stages to go before the lunchtime service, and Waipu Caves is a real cracker, featuring 2.5 kilometres of tarmac toward the end, but also some incredible roller coaster hills. Talk about a roller coaster ride. He's held all the pressure, withstood it all so far this weekend, Chris West, but a lead of just 1.6 seconds. Westy halfway through the stage. Hayden Patton is now in the stage.
80.
Talk about cool under pressure. Hayden Patton is only 21 years old, yet he's already won an international rally here last year. He drives with such maturity, so it will be interesting to see if he can take out the Pirelli star driver in Malaysia.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? But of course that's still to come. Today he just wants to finish and pick up as many points as possible and try and win the day. So does this guy, Gary Cowan, Chris West. Let's check out their time as they come down towards the finish.
120.
12:23.5, so that's the target. Whoa! Look at Patton.
Class 5 left tightens late.
Sensational.
30, max 5 right, 4 right plus in, 100 to finish.
Well, he's using all the road. And some more.
That's it.
12:24.3.
He still has the lead. Typically in rallying, though, the battle between the 2 out in front was leaving the rest of the field behind. Brett Martin, 14 seconds behind at the start of the stage.
Yes, unlike track racing, where battling a competitor often slows down the leader, in the sport of rallying, it often motivates the driver to push harder. This is one of the things that fascinates us with the sport, the way different drivers can gauge their pace.
Thanks, Dr. Rog. So Martin crosses the line in 12 minutes 34.3. What can Sumner do now? Maybe those MRF tyres aren't as good after 3 stages this morning, Roger.
Well, the crews have probably done a front-to-rear swap after stage 10, but tyres do get quite hot in the tarmac section of this stage, so it could have an impact.
Sumner's time just slightly slower. Callum McInnes, ex-Waipu boy, one of his favourite stages, 3rd fastest through here. And that was going to be a problem for Stuart Taylor. Taylor's 5th place now under threat. The gap to McInnes just 4.8 seconds after stage 10. His time, 12 minutes 43.9. That's 16 seconds slower than McInnes. He drops to 6th. Emma Gilmore had an horrendous crash here last year, leaving her with a wrecked car and concussion, lack of confidence. Wants to get the monkey off the back.
Well, here's the corner she crashed in.
To 7 left.
Understandably tentative, Clint.
But well done, Emma. Now you can move on in 7th place. Brad Ayling continued to improve, 8th fastest. Tied on the stage with Kirsty Nelson, who'd moved up to 10th. Grant Barber still held 9th, but Nelson was closing to within 12 seconds. Andre Meyer dropped behind Nelson to hold 11th. These two look set to battle like this all season.
Caution ahead, Creston.
Brendan Reeves bowed out of the Kiwi 2 pace, though, with a puncture and then a dead battery. That cost him 37 minutes.
Well, there's confirmation of strong passes. Reeves on the road. That'll bring a grin inside the car.
That was Reeve, I think.
Just listen to Dave rev this car.
So he's still leading the class. Patrick Malley also gets a lift up the class too. Now 18 seconds behind Strong. Aaron Cook seemed happy to cruise through the morning, not challenging Strong, but now 3rd in Kiwi 2. Ben Jagger now up to 4th in class, but he better watch his back.
Yes, the other Cook, Reg, was pushing hard now and closed within 2 seconds of Jagger.
Hayden Padden was fastest over the spectator stage at Poe Island, so let's go for a bit of a ride with Shrek 4.
150. Flat 6 right Titans, 5 plus tidy. 30, 7 left, 150. 4 right plus Titans don't. 50, 1 left.
A little bit rough there, Clint, as they come down to the hairpin. Rough on this corner too.
100, 7 left. 50, 4 right, opens long cut. 100 to finish.
His time, 58.3 seconds through the stage.
Bastard. Was that? Oh, I can't get it right.
Still not happy. And it's still tight at the top on day 2. Westy in front by 1.9 seconds. Dean Sumner just 4.1 seconds behind Martin in 4th.
Stuart Taylor in 6th from Gilmore and Rookie Ayling.
And Strong leads the battle in Kiwi 2. And just one service on day 2, and with storm clouds gathering, everyone had one eye on the weather and one eye on the stages to come.
Yeah, there's not much in it, that's for sure. And I think the biggest equation this afternoon is the weather gods are going to do, and in relation to tyre choice.
Just talking about tyre choice and weather this morning, a lot of rain overnight. Did it affect you?
Yeah, first, and say the first stage, all of those stages that we done this morning were considerably wet, and there was no real base to them. So, conditions have certainly changed from yesterday, that's for sure.
Hayden, looks like the boys some weird ankles inside the car there.
Yeah, looks not very comfortable, but nothing major, just a brake light switch that's been stuck on, and just in return sends false signals to the centre diff and does a few funny things.
Let's talk about the battle. 4 stages down today. It's 1.9 in Westy's favour.
It's pretty close, and I think we're both driving pretty fast. And I think this afternoon it's going to come down to tyre choice, so we're taking a bit of a gamble, hoping that it's going to be wet and a bit more chewed up, and see if we can come through.
Brett, with the changeable weather, looks like tyre choice could be critical.
Yeah, it could be. It's I think just for our thing, we've really, I think hards are too hard to run, and I think the softs are probably about right. It's just deciding whether we make any cuts to them or not. We haven't run these width tyres before, really. It's the first event we've tried them, and so I think, that's about the only choices we got.
And of course the decision process has to be made now.
Yeah, well, you got to make it, and it's either you just got to drive on what you got in the end, I guess, and if you make the wrong choice, well, you got to live with it.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a battle all day. We've got our car a bit better today, so I'm a bit happier. So just really got to transfer that into speed on the road. Still getting my confidence back as well. I think to get that extra tenth, out of every K. So just got to push a bit harder in these next few.
Malley was the first of the Kiwi 2 cars to arrive in service. Happy with the morning too.
It was a good day. One of our competition's fallen off, and we're keeping in touch with Ben, so couldn't be happier at this stage.
Any problems?
Was a little problem in the first stage, but that'll come out in the wash like they all do, and other than that, just driving to finish.
Local star from Northland, Ben Jagger, had tales of a close escape on stage 10.
Home at the moment. We had a bit of an off-road excursion on the second stage today, I think, and we clipped some trees, but no, it's sweet.
What do you mean by off-road?
It was a real close moment. We nearly head off into some trees down a bank, but managed to keep it on the road and keep going.
Next into service, Dave Strong, happy to be leading the class again.
Oh, we're going great. Yeah. We've got a few tyres left over from yesterday, so I'm playing the tyre card today. I changed them before that cave stage, and it worked well.
Well, Reg, what's been happening with the Nissan Micra, mate?
We had a bit of a bad day yesterday, got locked in first gear, so I didn't go far. Today it was pretty good. We've done a couple of quick times. We won the last stage, so for a geriatric, I'm really happy.
Can you keep it going today?
Yeah, no, we can, and we're going to go quicker this afternoon. We won't win the class, but we're going to give a few of them a fright this afternoon, second time round. And my new co-driver, he's coming on good. So, yeah, this afternoon, it's all on.
And coming up after the break, just 3 stages before the champagne will spray. But for who? Welcome back in the final stages of the NAC Hella International Rally of Whangarei, round 3 of the Vantage Aluminium Joinery New Zealand Rally Championship. And the rain that everyone was talking about did arrive on the stages. Heavy showers just prior to the start.
Well, it's all down to tyres, and Chris West running Yokohama tyres. He's got a limited choice, but I can tell you, he did do some cuts, looking for that extra traction.
Yes, the black art of tyre cutting. Well, there's Westy's split time, 8:28.2. So what can Patton do now? What's his tyre choice?
Well, he's running BF Goodrich tyres, and I can tell you he's seriously cut those tyres for this afternoon.
And he's quicker, look at that.
Well, it's certainly working.
So Shrek is making a charge. What a fascinating battle too. West versus Patton, Yokohama versus BF Goodrich, the old experienced champ, going wide and up against the junior champ.
Well, classic problem there. Nice swept line, you get off line, you're going towards the ditch.
Heading towards the Hella Bridge. Remember, they've used the stage for the 4th time over the rally.
5 left over finish 150.
Right down to the line, his time 10:11.8. 7 seconds faster than this morning.
Westy, how's the tyre choice gone through there?
I guess we'll wait and see. I haven't had a chance to get out and have a look yet, but I think we were pretty reserved in what we chose. But better to be safe than sorry. So we'll put up with what we've got, I guess.
Patton flying over the Hella Bridge for the last time. What can he do? Can he take the lead on day 2? Down to the finish. His time coming up. And he's done it. Takes the lead for the leg.
Hayden, you've just gone over 3 seconds quicker than Westy. I think you're taking the day's lead.
Yeah, that's good. The tyres are working really well in there and starting to push, so we'll keep pushing through these next 2, and I'm feeling quite comfortable at the moment.
Brett Martin next up, and Roger, what did he do to the tyres?
Well, Brett decided he was happy with his MRF tyres and left them uncut. But looking at these road conditions, I'm not sure whether that was a good decision.
30 to long.
Look at the car, the way it's handling this. Understeer into an oversteer as he comes over the Hella Bridge.
65.6 left.
Well, that clock is ticking for Brett Martin. I don't think it's going to be a fast time as he comes down to the line. 10:21.1, so he's 13 seconds down on Patton. Dean Sumner was just 4.1 seconds behind Martin going into the stage. He's running Dunlops.
He certainly is, narrow Dunlops as well. I can confirm that the service park, he did cut his tyres, and you can see he's getting much better performance out of the tyres here.
180.
Unlike Brett Martin, the car's not sliding around, it's staying in the tyre tracks. Could be a good time here, Clint.
Jump. 30 and long, 3 right tightens. 60. 5 left minus.
So Dean Sumner got that confidence back now in the ITM Evo. Down to the line. 10 minutes, 15.6. That'll give him third place by 1.4 seconds. Unbelievable.
Dean, a bit of problem with steering?
Yeah, I'm just pushing a bit hard there, and I think I've whacked the rear wheel and a drain has got a bit of toe out, so just try and fix it for the next stage.
The good news is I think you've made a big time on Brett Martin. You may have passed him.
Yeah, cool. I've just got to try and fix the car now.
Martin was also coming under pressure from Callum McInnes, just 0.3 behind on the stage, 6 seconds behind overall. And Stu Taylor another 10 seconds back in 6th, so battles right through the top 10. Bit of a struggle for Taylor too. Seems to be a bit of a victim of the fuel here, Roger.
Yes, the Taylor team have been running 98 pump gas on the first 2 rounds of the championship, but because the Rally of Whangarei is an FIA international rally, the rules supersede the national championship, so drivers can run more potent World Rally fuel, which gives the cars better low-down punch off the corners. But it seems on the Taylor car it hasn't worked and has damaged the engine, and he's down on power.
Emma Gilmore dropped 8 seconds here in the battle with Callum McInnes, another different tyre manufacturer too.
Oh, missed a gear there as well. Emma's on Pirelli tyres, and I would suspect with a time loss of that much, she isn't getting the most out of the tyres.
Brad Ayling still in 8th place, now looking good to take 2nd in the Pirelli Star driver spot behind Hayden Paddon. Grant Barber slipping back now 14 seconds behind Ayling into the clutches of a fast improving Andre Meyer.
Great run on this stage by Meyer, 8th fastest, and he's got the better of Kirsty Nelson to move up to 10th overall.
Talk about battles and battles. Kirsty actually dropped 12 seconds behind Andre to 11th. Brendan Reeves had no hope of regaining time lost on stage 11, but another class win on the stage with some satisfaction. Finally, Cook starting to show some pace too, 2nd fastest in Kiwi 2 here. Strong lost 2 seconds to him on this stage, but was still leading Kiwi 2 for the day, 12th overall.
3 left at Titans Jump Bridge 30 to a 3 right junction.
Patrick Malley still 2nd in Kiwi 2 and with a 12-second buffer to Cook. Ben Jagger and Reg Cook having another close battle too. This time it was Jagger with the upper hand, now 4th in Kiwi 2.
Reg losing time on the stage, losing 17 seconds to Jagger, now 5th ahead of Reeves.
One more sprint through Millbrook before the final Waipu Cave stage, and just 10 kilometres. Not a lot would change. That doesn't mean that the leaders weren't trying hard though. Chris West, first of the New Zealand cars through, still the overall leader in the rally.
Yes, and that's something that will be on Chris West's mind. Is it worth risking his first international rally win just to finish first on leg 2?
Well, he needs all the points he can get, so he'll be still going for it. His time 6:14.1. Hayden Patton now just one thing on his mind, win the day. 2nd overall in the rally, but not really threatening West's overall lead, so winning the day is his main aim.
Certainly is his main aim today, but he's also testing some brand new tyres for BF Goodrich with square sidewalls.
Coming down to the line, what's his time? Well, they've certainly worked. He's just set a new record by 0.4 of a second and holds on to the lead for day 2. Sumner, he's tweaked his wheel alignment after stage 13. Must have worked. 3rd fastest, held 3rd overall. That put pressure on Brent Martin. He was 5 seconds off his teammate. And he had Callum McInnes 5 seconds behind him too in 5th. And with the long Waipu Cave stage still to go. Now, there's a car on the road and a cameraman's trying to warn Reg Cook, but look, it just distracts poor old Reg and makes him crash into the bank. So drama at the front and drama at the back. What a day, what a rally. And the car's safe now. So 1 stage to go now to the end of a very eventful and an exciting day on Rally Whangarei. Brendan Reeves would never make up the time lost on stage 11, but the young Aussie had impressed with his speed. Hopefully we'll be back for more rounds. Despite that how now brown cow, Reg Cook finished 5th in Kiwi 2. Disaster though for Andre Meyer. He dropped 5 places with a puncture when finished 15th overall. So Ben Jagger moves up to 14th and 4th in Kiwi 2 on his first international rally and his home one too. Epic. But the punctures kept on coming. Brad Ayling losing time in 5 places, dropping from an excellent 8th to 13th, but still finishing 2nd in the Pirelli Star driver standings, giving him €5,000 to race in Malaysia. Patrick Malley, first of the Fiestas, did an excellent 12th place overall, but he missed out on second in Kiwi 2. And the bad luck continued for Emma Gilmore, who was in 7th place before this.
Well, I'm not sure what she hit there because I couldn't see anything. Maybe a tyre's just disintegrated.
Over bridge. Broken him. Ramos.
No problems for Aaron Cook, though. He was fast enough to overtake Malley and finally be second in Kiwi 2 and in the top 10 as well. And Dave Strong says he loves to rev his engine. That's exactly what he'd been doing all day. A dominant performance in Kiwi 2. 9th overall, 40 seconds clear of the competition.
50 long, 6 left plus, and 30 to a 5 right minus 100. Long to 5 right minus and 100.
But wait, there's more. Just when you thought the dramas were over, another puncture. This time for Stuart Taylor, would drop him 2 places to 8th.
4 long, 4 left minus.
Well, it just hasn't been Stuart's weekend. He started off 3rd in the championship, but disappointing results on both days will put a dent in those points.
15 Ks. Yeah, no, got to change.
But what a good result for the Northland star. Kirsty Nelson rolled out of day 1, but on day 2 she kept everything on the straight and narrow. Her best result, 7th overall, home rally. But staying out of trouble paid off for Grant Barber too, 6th in day 2. Another great result, 5th place for McInnes, although he was showing improved speed, so hopefully can start to score top 3 finishes by the end of the season. Brett Martin will have to settle for 4th today after his 3rd on day 1. Maybe his tyre choice had let him down a bit, but in the end, just 13 seconds separating him and teammate Dean Sumner, and he had shown consistently faster pace than the MRF team's APRC drivers throughout the rally on the same tyres.
150. 6 right here, don't go wide, 7 left 100. Kings 250, this is...
So a podium 3rd place for Dean Sumner. Good finish at last for Dino in the ITM Evo. He was plagued with handling problems after that crash in round 1. Now his car's sorted out and Dean's got the confidence back.
Yes, rally at Whangarei, a turning point in Dean's season last year. Remember the next round, Hawke's Bay, he won that rally.
But this day is certainly not over by no means. Chris West, he's still trailing Patton by less than 4 seconds for day 2, but he still is the overall leader of the rally. Would he risk that to take on Patton here?
I think so. The best way to stay in front is push as hard as you can.
4 right minus 60 is the finish.
What can Westy do?
Minus 120.
Whatever he does, he'll certainly still win the rally. 12.7, 11 seconds faster than this morning.
Great work, Jack. Top job, mate. Welcome back.
Chris, Hayden had a 3.2 second lead on you coming in here. Have you done enough?
No way. Like it's, I think he's done a bloody good job today, and we just struggled a little bit. There's a lot more grip out there than what you think, and very fine line of over driving and not. So we're picking our lines, but then we're just washing out on a few. So we're happy. It's been a really good day and a great weekend. Fantastic.
So Westy is the winner overall in the rally of Whangarei, but can Patton hold on to his lead and take out the second leg for the Kiwi drivers?
100.
Remember, he had a lead of 3.2 seconds going into the stage.
Well, he's got to do a 12:15.8 or better to win.
Down to the finish line, he's done it!
Well done, that was a bloody good afternoon.
Well, we nearly did it.
Yeah, we tried hard. Well done.
And he's also taken the lead in the championship.
Hayden Westy's gone about a second quicker, but I think you've held on.
That's good. It was Max attack this afternoon, and the tyres have worked really well. And I must admit, it's been really enjoyable. Even it's been so crucial just even getting off the start line on the right 10th of a second mattered. So it's been good fun.
Well, Hayden Patton's just finished the rally of Whangarei in second place, winning the leg for the day, and he's taken over the lead in the championship. So how do you feel about that?
Oh, mate, we're going to have to go out there at Hawke's Bay and get it back, won't we? I don't know, we'll get our BNT Savara all sorted out and we'll get out there and get into it.
So Chris West takes out the rally win of Whangarei, but Hayden Patton is victorious in day 2. Sumner back on the pace in 3rd.
Grant Barber and Kirsty Nelson, 6th and 7th, their best results. Strong leads, Kiwi 2.
Disappointment for Gilmore and Aileen, but Aileen was still second in the Pirelli Star Driver competition. So celebrations for the Andrew Sims and Rally Art Mitsubishi team. The rally producing a top international result for them and finally showing the true potential of the driver.
Chris, you set the early pace this morning, but unfortunately for you anyway, Hayden came back and just got you at the end.
Oh, it is unfortunate. You know, it's quite important to have those 5 points, but hell of a battle. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and maybe this afternoon we suffered a little bit in the 10k one. I think was the biggest. Probably the biggest consequences for today, but in hindsight, we maybe should have taken a softer tyre this morning. But hey, we're here, and it's been a great weekend.
It's quite good to get a good result for the team as well, and our sponsors who have all put in a lot of hard work. And it seems like it's been a long time since we have been at the top of the list, but it's good to finally get there, and hopefully we can stay up there.
Chris West set the standard earlier on today and he took the lead, but you clawed him back.
Yeah, it's been really close all day, and it's been quite exciting actually, with tenths of a second here and there. So and it was right down to the last stage and the last corner. So it was great, and hats off to Westy who drove well all weekend.
Dean, well done, 3rd place, back on the podium.
Yeah, I tell you, it was an effort those last 3 stages. You know, Brett's been driving awesome all weekend. We've had a battle for 12 stages, and it comes down to the last stage, and we tried our absolute best, and it's a full credit to our team. You know, they got the car sorted, and it's really like the team got 3rd, and we sorted that car out, and we're happy.
Had a great result for Dave Strong after such a disappointing day one.
Yeah, well, you got to treat it as a new day and just give it everything, give it heaps, go thrashing it out there.
Overall, the battle between you and Aaron Cook is really heating up. You're second now overall with 3 rounds to go, 49 points going into the Battle of the Bay. You reckon you can peg it back?
Yeah, well, all I can do is do my best and keep winning, and hopefully Aaron will have a problem or 2 problems maybe. So, just keep going maximum.
Well, Aaron Cook second for the day in the Rally of Whangarei in the Kiwi 2 class, but you take out the overall honours for the weekend and you maintain a healthy lead.
Yeah, great for our points. We're pretty happy with our effort today. We're sort of consistently going really well and getting good stage times.
And the ding-dong battle between you and Dave Strong continues?
We'd try not to look at it too much, but you can't help yourself to sort of keep an eye on that as well, because the next round we'll be at it again.
Yeah, we were really stoked to get there in the end. It was another trying day just like yesterday, but hung in tooth and nail, fight for every inch, and we took enough time out to make a result.
What was the key, taking some time out of Ben Jagger this afternoon?
Just push every single stage, every single thing you could take out of it. Ben's coming to a class driver on his own in the Fiestas, and we had to push really hard to make sure we could beat him.
So the points in Group N, Hayden Padden leads from Chris West with Richard Mason 3rd now, Taylor and then Martin. Kiwi 2, it's Aaron Cook out in front from Dave Strong with Jagger 3rd and the first of the Ford Fiestas. Hayden Padden leads the Junior Driver Championship from Andre Meyer with Sloane Cox 3rd. So once again, it's a Kiwi who's on top of the podium in the International Rally of Whangarei, and it's Westy who gets to spray the champagne twice as overall winner and first in the New Zealand Championship. Well, what a weekend. And in the end, Roger Davis, the NAC Insurance Hella International Rally of Whangarei turned out to be the Westy and Padden show. Amazing.
Certainly did. Well, Westy won the first day and, of course, Padden won the second day. But what a battle between the 2 South Island drivers. Great battle here.
Yes, first and second overall in the championship now. And Hayden Padden, great effort for him winning second leg today.
Yes, and he's got a 23-point lead. But look at Westy. He came in 4th or 5th in the championship, and now he's second at the moment.
And, of course, a lot of hard work for Richard Mason. Unbelievable. Last year, this was a turning point for him. Same again this year, although he says that he has got a good record in Hawke's Bay the next event.
Well, he got no points here, so he's now 32 points behind Hayden Padden. 3 rounds to go. He's got a lot of work to do.
And, of course, talking about Hayden Padden, he also picked up the points in the Pirelli Star Driver competition and $10,000 to race in the Rally of Malaysia. Fantastic for our leader of the New Zealand Championship.
Yes, and great effort. He's only 21 years old, and he's got an incentive. He's got a package, a money package to get over there and race over there. Maybe next year, PWRC. Who knows?
That was, of course, the dream of the late, great Possum Bourne. So, make sure you join us as we roll on, as Richard Mason would say, all towards the Battle of the Bay.